I was in the arms of my savage knights and right where I belonged. I leaned into Bash and whispered, "Then why does he act this way?" Bastian rolled his broad shoulders.
He hasn't been as bad since you moved into the house with us.
I chuckled. He was worse before? I doubt that.
You mellow him out. Just knowing you're under our protection brings him some relief.
Because he's afraid of losing his pawn, not because he gives a shit about me.
Not true,
Marcello said in a deep tone that forced me to look at him.
We all care about you, Princess. Even Luca. He has a different way of showing it.
Damian nodded to confirm.
The knights will do anything for you, pet. Kill for you. Die for you. Whatever you need. We take our oath seriously.
This wasn't the first time I'd heard the same thing from the other guys. They must have all rehearsed this oath, a vow to protect their queen at all costs. Luca hung up the phone a minute later and spun around to face us. I could see the madness dance across his handsome face, twisting his gorgeous lips into a snarl. I pushed myself up from the couch and walked toward him. Luca just stood there, hands on his narrow hips, pushing his suit jacket to the side. He had 2 guns holstered on his chest. My devil looked so damn sinister and tempting. I stopped in front of him and inched my fingers up his muscular arm. Thank you, Luca. I know you saved me from those men, that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. His snarl quickly transformed into a semblance of a smirk. Would it have killed him to smile? I know you mean well, even if your approach is terrible. He snickered.
My approach is effective.
Not quite, I remarked. He stared into my eyes for the longest few seconds of my life. When Luca looked at me, it was as if he stared through me, like he was searching my soul. Of all the Salvatore boys, he was my biggest weakness, the one I wanted the most because I couldn't have him. He never let me get too close. He never wanted me to see the darkness inside him, even though he couldn't hide from me. That was my skill. I could draw the truth out of anyone. With a swipe of my brush, I told the world stories about all of them. My handsome princes, the men I couldn't imagine living my life without now that we had formed those bonds. Since he didn't recoil from my touch, I took that as a sign I could let my hands wander. Luca often looked disgusted by any form of affection. He hated intimacy and made that abundantly clear over the years, so it surprised me when he didn't push my hands off his chest. I moved them higher and wrapped my arms around his neck. Luca lifted my feet off the ground, his lips inches from mine. We looked into each other's eyes and breathed against each other's lips. I thought he would kiss me, but he pulled his head back and set my feet on the floor.
I have to ask you something.
He peeled his hands from my waist and got on one knee as he reached into his pocket. A dark blue box sat in his palm. I gasped as he opened the top, revealing a massive round diamond. It twinkled when the light hit it just right. The ring must have cost him a small fortune.
Drea,
he said as he held out the box for me to get a better look at the ring.
Will you marry me?